I read a book called Once a Runner. And Once a Runner is a different conversation entirely, but when I first read it, I thought it was a great book. I just assumed that every book out there written about running was a good book. The next book I read after Once a Runner was a book called The Purple Runner, and I picked it up because it had this really cool cover illustration, a runner just dressed in purple. How could a book not be good with a cover illustration like that? But it was the worst book I've ever read. It was really, really bad, and it just made me think, you know what? Someday I will write something about running, or I will make a comic about running, and I'm going to call it The Orange Runner. And because, you know, I really liked the color orange at the time. After 10 years of running and working in retail, I had a pretty good handle on the running world and runner stories and what runners find funny and common experiences. I had a teacher tell me to start using Instagram just to like post work that I was doing. Out of nowhere, kind of decided to do an illustration in Sharpie on a loose leaf paper about running while hungover. Prior to that, my Instagram was full of like landscape paintings and drawings of construction vehicles and things like that. And you know, stuff I really enjoy drawing. But nobody really cared. And then I posted this comic about running while hungover, and it was far and away the most popular post on Instagram. And I actually got a lot of like new followers because Sidious Mag reposted it. And then the next day I posted another running comic about like procrastinating while running by drinking another cup of coffee. That became the most popular post on my Instagram. And so then I just kept making running comics, and people kept liking them, and kind of got myself a little following, and enough that I was able to quit my retail job. People tend to really like comics about Steve Prefontaine or anything that makes them feel like a badass. So Death is a very popular character. Some of the more popular comics are the ones that have like really beautiful backgrounds as well. There was one really popular comic when I started out. The caption was just "Trust the work," and it was two runners looking exceptionally tired in front of the West 86th Street Bridge in Central Park. And it's a very memorable bridge, and anybody that has run there once would recognize it. But my favorite comic is I was going for a run once. I was living out in the Rockaways, like not a whole lot going on there if you're not surfing. And it's windy, it's a sandbar in the middle of the Atlantic, so it's just windy in both directions. And I was on this miserable, like 60-minute jog and just hating it. And in the middle of the sidewalk, there was like just nothing for, you know, hundreds of meters. And there was just this random chair on the sidewalk. And I stopped, and it was a moment of mania, and I was just talking to the chair. And I ran home and realized how like stupid that was, and made a comic about it. And there's just a runner standing over a chair going, "Are you as lonely as I am, trash chair?" And some people really liked the comic. And, you know, but most people didn't really get it.